Alrighty. And if anything's wrong with audio, sound, or any of that, feel free to let me know. It's obviously been a while since I've had this up and running, so everything should still be fine, but we'll find out. In the meantime, let me actually. Okay. So, those that have tuned in already, welcome back. I've been on a little hiatus, as you know, but hopefully I will be back and hopefully in full swing. Maybe take it little by little, but we'll see. In the meantime, I am going with this Doki-Doki Literature Club, the Plus version. I actually had this gifted to me a while ago, probably close to about a year ago or whatever, and it was essentially meant for me to stream it. Well, I did one playthrough of it just to kind of get the feel of it and all that stuff, and then I got myself distracted with a lot of the other stuff, and I forgot to start streaming this game. So, here I am, getting this back up and going, and like I promised the guy that gifted this to me, told him I would stream it, and even though it's probably been about a year since then, I am going to hold up to my word. And speaking of, this game was actually gifted to me by another streamer and dear friend of mine. His name is Captain Philly, and I believe he's actually a mod on here. He may or may not pop in. We'll find out throughout the stream, but he is a great guy. If you haven't heard of him or if you don't know about him already, head on over. I will figure out a way to link his stuff and go check him out. But in the meantime, let's start new game. And just to keep it simple, Phoenix. Hey! I see an annoying little. I see an annoying girl running towards me from the distance, waving her arms in the air like she is totally oblivious to any attention she might draw to herself. That girl is Sayori, my neighbor and good friend since we were children. You know, kind of friend you'd never see yourself making today, but it just kind of works out because you've known each other for so long. We used to walk to school together on days like this, but starting around high school, we would oversleep more and more frequently, and I would get tired of waiting up. We know we've all had those friends. But if she's going to chase after me like this, I almost feel better off running away. However, I just sigh and idle in front of the crosswalk and let Sayori catch up to me. I overslept again. But I caught you this time. Maybe, but only because I decided to stop and wait for you. You say that like you're thinking about ignoring me. That's mean, Phoenix. Well, if people stare at you for acting weird, then I don't want them to think we're a couple or something. Fine, fine. But you did wait for me after all. I guess you don't have it in you to be mean, even if you want to. Whatever you say, Sayori. And we cross the street together and make our way to school. As we draw near, the streets become increasingly speckled with other students making their daily commute. By the way, Phoenix, have you decided on a club to join yet? A club? I told you already. I'm not re- I'm really not interested in joining any clubs. I haven't been looking either. Eh? That's not true. You told me you would join a club this year. Did I? I'm I'm sure it's possible that I did. In one of our many conversations where I dismissively go along with whatever she's going on about. Sawyer likes to worry a little too much about me, when I'm perfectly content just getting by on the average while spending my free time on games and anime. Hey, you can't complain about games and anime. I mean, come on. They're fun. They're awesome. Uh huh. I was talking about how I'm worried you won't learn how to socialize or have any skills before college. Your happiness is really important to me, you know. And I know you're happy now, but I die at the thought of you becoming a NEET in a few years because you're not used to the real world. You trust me, right? Don't make me keep worrying about you. Alright, alright. I'll look at a few clubs if it makes you happy. No promises, though. Will you at least promise me you'll try a little? Yeah, I guess I'll promise you that. Yay! Why do I let myself get lectured by such carefree girl? More than that, I'm surprised I even let myself relent to her. I guess seeing her worry so much about me makes me want to ease her mind at least a little bit, even if she does exaggerate everything inside of her head. School day is as ordinary as ever, and it's over before I know it. After I pack up my things, I stare blankly at the wall, looking for an ounce of motivation. Clubs. Suri wants me to check out some clubs. I guess I have no choice but to start with some anime clubs. Hello, Sayori. Sorry, you must have come into the classroom while I was spacing out. I look around and realize that I'm the only one left in the classroom. I thought I'd catch you coming out of the classroom, but I saw you just sitting here and spacing out, so I came in. Honestly, you're even worse than me sometimes. I'm impressed. You don't need to wait up for me if it's gonna make you late to your own club. Well, I thought you might need some encouragement, so I thought, know what? Well, that you could come to my club. Sayori. Yeah? There is no way I'm going to your club. Eh, meanie. Sayori is vice president of the literature club. Not that I ever Not that I was ever aware that she had any interest in literature. In fact, I'm 99% sure she only did it because she thought it would be fun to help start a new club. I'm sure we've all been there. May not have had a deep meaning into the club, but we're just like, you know what? Why not? Let's see what we can do. Since she was the first one to show interest after the one who proposed the club, she inherited the title Vice President. That said, my interest in literature is guaranteed to be even less. Yeah, I'm going to the anime club. Come on, please. Why do you care so much, anyways? Well, I kind of told the club yesterday I would bring in a new member. And Natsuki made cupcakes and everything. Don't make promises you can't keep. So you've had me muted this entire time. I see how it is. My ever so impressive dialogue. And you have been missing it. Yeah, I've played through this once already just to kind of get the feel of it, and it's been a while. So, yeah, I kind of do the whole spiel on this earlier when apparently you had me muted. Thanks a lot. But this was gifted to me by Captain Philly. There's Speak of the Devil. I had to make sure you were notarized in this one at least. After all, you were the one that gifted me this game, so I told you I would stream it, and it's been probably about a year, if not maybe a little bit more, since you've done that. And I figure why not for my comeback series? Get this going. Anyways, to continue a little bit, I can't tell if Sayori is really that much of an airhead or if she's so cunning as to have planned all this out. I let out a long sigh. Fine, I'll stop by for a cupcake, okay? Yes, let's go! I probably will not be able to do all the different voice narrations, but we'll do what I can. I totally forgot to read that last part. Anyways, I dejectedly follow Sayori across the school and upstairs, a section of the school I rarely visit. Sayori, full of energy, swings open the classroom door. Yeah, Philly's the weird one on this one. I get where he's coming from, but yeah. I can't even remember which one I choose. I think I really like Sayori, but it could be. There's a few of them in here that are actually really nice. Everyone, the new member is here. I told you, don't call me a new member. I glanced around the room. Welcome to the Literature Club. It's a pleasure meeting you. Sayori always says nice things about you. Seriously? You brought a boy. Way to kill the atmosphere. Ah, Phoenix. What a nice surprise. Welcome to the club. All words escape me in this situation. I may forget all the narrations I do, but I will obviously do my best. This club is full of incredibly cute girls. What are you looking at? If you want to say something, say it. Sorry. Natsuki. The girl with the sour attitude, whose name is apparently Natsuki, is one I don't recognize. Her small figure makes her look like a first-year student. She is also the one who made cupcakes, according to Sayori. You can just ignore her when she gets moody. Sayori says that quietly in my ear, then turns back towards the other girls. Anyway, this is Natsuki, always full of energy. And this is Yuri, the smartest in the club. Don't say things like that. And I see I got some biddies over here. Got 13 bits. Thank you, Corpse Baby. Much, much appreciated. Glad to see I'm at least deserving of a little bit. I mean, hey, everything works. Yuri, who appears comparably more mature and timid, seems to have a hard time keeping up with people like Sayori and Natsuki. Ah, well, it's nice to meet both of you. And it sounds like you already know Monica. Is that right? That's right. It's great to see you again, Phoenix. Monica smiles sweetly. Ever so sweetly. We do know each other. Well, we rarely talk, but we were in the same class last year. Monica was probably the most popular girl in class. Smart, beautiful, athletic. You know, the gist of the girls we can't touch as guys. Basically, completely out of my league. Just like I said. So true. So true. So, having her smile at me so genuinely feels a little. You too, Monica. Come sit down, Phoenix. Made room for you at the table, so you can sit next to me or Monica. I'll get the cupcakes. Hey, I made them. I'll get them. Sorry, I got a little too excited. Then, how about I make some tea as well? The girls have a few desks arranged to form a table. As Sayori mentioned, it's been widened so that there's one space next to Monica and one space next to Sayori. Natsuki and Yuri walk over to the corner of the room, my bad, where Natsuki grabs a wrapped tray and Yuri opens the closet. Still feeling awkward, I take a seat next to Sayori. Natsuki proudly marches back to the table, tray in hand. Okay, are you ready? I like tea. It kind of depends on the kind. And depending on what kind it is, I like to put at least just a little sugar in there. Ta-da! Wow! Natsuki lifts the foil off the tray to reveal a dozen white, fluffy cupcakes decorated to look like cats. The whiskers are drawn with icing, and little pieces of chocolate were used to make ears. So cute! I had no idea you were so good at baking, Natsuki. Eh, well, just hurry and take one. Sayori grabs one first, then Monica. I follow. It's delicious! Sayori talks with her mouth full and has already managed to get icing on her face. I turn the cupcake around in my fingers, looking for the best angle to take a bite. Natsuki is quiet. First bite. Always. First bite is always the best, and it's always the most telling on if you will enjoy the rest of the cupcake. Unfortunately, right now, I personally am not in the mood for cupcakes, but I'm in the mood for something sweet. What that is, I don't know. I can't help but notice her sneaking glances in my direction. Is she waiting for me to take a bite? I finally bite down. The icing is sweet, full of flavor. I wonder if she made it herself. Milky Way is good. Milky Way is good. I've been honestly craving a lot of like the fruity flavor stuff. Like almost want to say like Now and Later's, Starburst, stuff that has that flavor in there, and you kind of suck on it just that little bit, and it like oozes out all the flavor. Skittles and Sour Patch are actually very good. I love both of them. This is really good. Thank you, Natsuki. What? Why are you thanking me? It's not like I. Haven't I heard this somewhere before? Made them for you or anything. I thought you technically did. Sayori said, well, maybe. But not for you. No, you, dummy. Alright, alright. I give up on Natsuki's weird logic and dismiss the conversation. I'm sorry, was my description of the flavoring earlier a little too in depth? Yuri returns to the table carrying a tea set. She carefully places a teacup in front of each of us before setting down the teapot next to the cupcake tray. Was it, or was it just your imagination and that was just something that was already on your mind to begin with? I guess we'll never know. The main question is nowadays, whose mind doesn't live in the gutter? I mean, that's where all the fun is. you keep a whole tea set in the classroom? Don't worry, the teachers give us permission. That's right, Philly. You lost your mind long ago. I think we both lost our mind when we started hanging out together. I don't know if that was a good thing or if that was a mistake with our parents. Who knows? After all, doesn't a hot cup of tea help you enjoy a good book? Ah, I guess. Don't let yourself get intimidated. Yours just trying to impress you. Uh, that that's not insulted. Yuri looks away. I meant that you know. I believe you. Well, tea and reading might not be a pastime for me, but at least I at least enjoy tea. I'm glad. Yuri faintly smiles to herself in relief. Monica raises an eyebrow, then smiles at me. So, what made you consider the literature club? Um, I was afraid of this question. Something tells me I shouldn't tell Monica that I was practically dragged here by Sayori. Well, I haven't joined any clubs yet, and Sayori seems really happy here, so. That's okay, don't be embarrassed. We'll make sure you feel right at home, okay? Ain't that the truth, Captain? As president of the literature club, if I can speak today, as president of the literature club, it is my duty to make the club fun and exciting for everyone. Monica, I'm surprised. How come you decided to start your own club? You could probably be a board member for any of the major clubs. Weren't you a leader of the debate club last year? Well, to be honest, I can't stand all the politics around the major clubs. It feels like nothing but arguing about the budget and publicity and how to prepare for events. I'd much rather take something I personally enjoy and make it something special out of it. And if it encourages others to get into literature, then I'm fulfilling that dream. Monica really is a great leader. Yuri also nods in agreement. Then I'm surprised there aren't more people in the club yet. It must be hard to start a new club. You could put it that way. Nowadays, who doesn't? Or who does like politics? I personally think a lot of it is just overrated, but as usual, I won't get into that. And if anyone wants to kind of pick my brain on why and all that stuff, feel free to either shoot me a message here or Discord is down below. Go ahead, join, shoot me a message on there, and I will be more than happy to talk with you about it. Anything we talk about, no hard feelings. It's just my opinions on it. But that stuff I will leave out of streaming. So if you want to talk to me about it, go ahead, shoot me a private message and we'll talk. Okay. But yeah. You could put it that way. Not many people are very interested in putting out all the effort to start something brand new, especially when it's something that doesn't grab your attention, like literature. You have to work hard to convince people that you're both fun and worthwhile. And I might have to switch some of that stuff for the auto messaging because it looks like those are coming up a little too quickly, and if anything I might just disable those and just turn those into commands. Anyways, but it makes school events like the festival that much more important. I'm confident that we can all really grow this club before we graduate. Right, everyone? Yeah! We'll do our best. You know it! Everyone enthusiastically agrees. Such different girls, all interested in the same goal. Monica must have worked really hard just to find these three. Maybe that's why they were all so delighted by the idea of a new member joining. Though, I still don't really know if I can keep up with their level of enthusiasm about literature. I get that. So, Phoenix, what kind of things do you like to read? Well, considering how little I've read these past few years, I don't really have a good way of answering that. We will be right here, Philly, when you come back. Manga. I muttered quietly to myself, half joking. Natsuki's head suddenly perks up. It looks like she wants to say something, but she keeps quiet. Excuse me. Not much of a reader, I guess. Well, that can change. What am I saying? I spoke without thinking after seeing Yuri's sad smile. Anyway, what about you, Yuri? Well, let's see. Yuri traces the rim of her teacup with her finger. My favorites are usually novels that build deep and complex fantasy worlds. The level of creativity and craftsmanship behind them is amazing to me. And telling a good story in such a foreign world is equally impressive. Yuri goes on, clearly passionate about her reading. She seems so reserved and timid since the moment I walked in, but it's obvious by the way her eyes light up that she finds her comfort in the world of books, not people. But, I like a lot of things. Stories with deep psychological elements usually immerse me as well. Isn't it amazing how a writer can so deliberately take advantage of your own lack of imagination to completely throw you for a loop? Anyway, I've been reading a lot of horror lately. Ah, I read a horror book once. I desperately grasp something I can relate to at the minimal level. The minimal. Alrighty, Corpse Baby. Thanks for stopping in, and hope your supper is good. Hope you get a good night's sleep. And we will have to catch you the next time you join. At this rate, Yuri might as well be having a conversation with a rock. Really? I wouldn't have expected that, Yuri. For someone as gentle as you, I guess you could say that. But if a story makes me think, or takes me to another world, then I really can't put it down. Surreal horror is often very successful at changing the way you look at the world, if only for a brief moment. Ugh, I hate horror. Oh, why is that? Well, I just. Natsuki's eyes dart over to me for a split second. Never mind. That's right. You usually like to write about cute things, don't you, Natsuki? What? What gives you that idea? You left a piece of scrap paper behind last club meeting. It looked like you were working on a poem called Don't Say It Out Loud! And give it that back! Fine, fine. Your cupcakes, your poems. Everything you do is just as cute as you are. Sayori slides up behind Natsuki and puts her hands on her shoulders. I'm not cute! Natsuki, you write your own poems? Uh, well, I guess sometimes. Why do you care? I think that's impressive. Why don't you share them sometime? No! Natsuki averts her eyes. You wouldn't like them. Ah, not a very confident writer yet? I understand how Natsuki feels. Sharing that level of writing takes more than just confidence. The truest form of writing is writing to oneself. You must be willing to open up to your readers, exposing your vulnerabilities, and showing even the deepest reaches of your heart. Do you have writing experience too, Yuri? Maybe if you share some of your work, you can set an example and help Natsuki feel comfortable enough to share hers. I guess it's the same for Yuri. Aww, I wanted to read everyone's poems. We all sit in silence for a moment. Okay. I have an idea, everyone. Huh? An idea? What's the idea? Natsuki and Yuri look quizzically at Monica. Let's all go home and write a poem of our own. Then, next time we meet, we'll all share them with each other. That way, everyone is even. Yeah, let's do it. Plus, now that we have a new member, I think it will help us all get a little more comfortable with each other and strengthen the bond of the club. Isn't that right, Phoenix? Monica smiles warmly at me once again. Hold up. There's still one problem. Huh? What's that? Now that we're back to the original topic of me joining the club, I bluntly come forth with what's been on my mind this entire time. I never said I would join this club. Sayori may have convinced me to stop by, but I never made any decision. I still have other clubs to look at, and um, I lose my train of thought. All four of them stare back at me with dejected eyes. But I'm sorry. I thought. Phoenix, you all. I'm defenseless against these girls. Aren't all guys? How am I supposed to make a clear headed decision when it's like this? That is, if writing poems is the price I need to pay in order to spend every day with these beautiful girls. Right. Okay. I've decided then. I'll join the literature club. One by one, the girl's eyes light up. What am I getting myself into? Yes! I'm so happy! Sayori wraps her arms around me, jumping up and down. Hey! You really did scare me for a moment. If you really just came for the cupcakes, I would be super pissed. Then that makes it official. Welcome to the Literature Club. Ah, thanks, I guess. Okay, everyone. I think with that, we can officially end today's meeting on a good note. Everyone will remember tonight's assignment. Write a poem to bring to the next meeting so we can all share. Monica looks over at me once more. Phoenix, I look forward to seeing how you express yourself. Yeah. Can I really impress the class, star Monica, with my mediocre writing skills? I already feel the anxiety welling up inside me. Welcome back, Philly. Our other viewer has went to go eat and possibly go to sleep. Apparently has had a long day. Hey Phoenix, since we're already here, do you want to walk home together? That's right. Sayori and I never walk home together anymore because she has always stayed after school for clubs. Sure, might as well. Yay! With that, the two of us depart the clubroom and make our way home. The whole way, my mind wanders back and forth between the four girls. Sayori, Natsuki, Yuri, and, of course, Monica. Will I really be happy spending every day after school in a literature club? Perhaps I'll have the chance to grow closer to one of these girls. Alright. I'll just need to make the most of my circumstances, and I'm sure good fortune will find me. Sure. And I guess that starts with writing a poem tonight. Okay. Time to write a poem. Pick words you think your favorite club member will like. Something good might happen with whoever likes your poem the most. Alrighty. Now, from what we know, Sayori is kind of that outgoing, kind of that jack of all kind of person. Natsuki is obviously the anger games, the anime, manga kind of person. And then Yuri is over here with almost the, how do I describe it? That off putting, likes the immersive fantasy, horror. Exactly. So, I think my first time, if I remember it, I tried going for a Sayori. So, you know what? I'm going to see what happens with Natsuki this time. So, games, laugh, feather, swimsuit, memories, fantasy, whirlwind, climax, shopping, determination, and bunny. Hmm. Um. I'm gonna try and say shopping. I think I was right on that one. Excitement, tears, imagination, hopeless, secretive, desire, blanket, color, daydream, and ambient. Well, secretive was Yuri. Okay. Judgment, philosophy, prayer, suicide, fester, melody, headphones, hope, melancholy, sunset. I'm going to go with headphones. And flying, existence, mouse, disarray, whisper, insight, loud, nibble, fireflies, boop. Really? Boop. Okay then. Loud apparently went to Sayori. If I remember right, nipple was in there. If I remember correctly. Skipping, misery, adventure, sucks, passion, forgive, jumpy, vivacious. I think I said that right. I think. Papa, tragedy. Sucks. I forget, I have just like 20 words. Oh boy. Love, special, chocolate, vivid, portrait, defeat, nature, sing, fear, vacation. Let's go chocolate. I think Natsuki is pretty easy to figure out which ones are which, unless there's words that are too big brain. Universe and embrace, meager, fireworks, whistle, extreme, cute, dance, and I was about to say engulfment, but that is not engulf. No idea what that word is. Effulgent? Effulgent? Whatever that word is, I'm gonna chalk that word up to Yuri. That's big word. Spinning. Let's go cute. I know I'm probably gonna go with lollipop on this one, but just to read these out: disaster, happiness, email, lipstick, lazy, crimson, lollipop, clumsy, play, and silly. Lollipop, holiday, romance, kawaii, smile, wonderful, family, misfortune, together, strawberry, incapable. Let me know what you find out about that word. Okay. So that word apparently is going to describe Sayori. Because Yuri is not shining brightly or radiant. I mean, she is, but it, to me, kind of points more towards Sayori. Halfway there. 11 out of 12, or 11 out of 20. Unstable. Joy. Shame. Pink. Variance. Sunny. Explode. Despise. Party. And bliss. That it does. Explode. Apparently Yuri is explode. Okay then. Sweet. Doki-Doki. Giggle. Sticky. Dark. Waterfall. Rainbow. Contamination. Pout and marriage. Natsuki is very pouty. And how are we doing, Mr. Bear Gamer 123? Welcome to the stream, my friend. Coming back from a little hiatus that I've been on for a while and decided to get a flashback going. So far, so good. As kind of states in the title, this is just episode 1, so just starting out. Just basically got done with the first day of apparently being forced to join the literature club. And I am just over halfway done, as you can see, making my first poem. So these words: death, fickle, sadness, aura, playground, lucky, flea, scars, grief, and fun. This is probably not going to be a Natsuki one, but nope, that was Yuri. Okay. We got hurt, breathe, journey, covet, anxiety, intellectual, bubbles, disoriented, heart, and horror. Let's go bubbles. Got round 15. I'm so tired of clicking these words. Clouds, vitality, bouncy, time, frightening, destiny, pleasure, amazing, lust, and empty. Let's go vitality. Okay. $16, nightgown, rose, extraordinary, milk, depression, jump, anime, hair, ocean, shiny. Like, are you talking about just the Doki-Doki? That's it? That is actually pretty interesting. Many things you could actually find out about that. Okay. You learn something new every day. Got round 17. So close to the end. This is only the first poem. Got rain cloud, graveyard, treasure, hop, uncontrollable, unrestrained, ribbon, calm, after image, and dream. Definitely uncontrollable. Okay, that one pointed to Yuri. One of these times I may actually play through this one more time and figure out the specific words for Monica. Because yes, I know after seeing some of the other stuff here and there, she is on the page. She's hidden, but she's there. Got music, wrath, starscape, infinite, broken, bed, captive, incongruent, beauty, and summer. Music. Okay, Sayori was music. Round 19. Twirl, cheer, friends, sugar, vertigo, flower, sparkle, essence, inferno, and electricity. I personally would pick inferno. Let's see. Let's go sugar. Alrighty. So, last one. We got kitty, pain, pure, puppy, eternity, infallible, comfort, agonizing, charm, and massacre. Kitty. Ugh. That is finally done. Oh god, that takes forever. Hi again, Phoenix. Glad to see you didn't run away on us. Hee. Don't worry. This might be a little strange for me, but at least I at least keep my word. I could see Natsuki being massacred as well. Well, I'm back at the literature club. I was the last to come in, so everyone else is already hanging out. Thanks for keeping your promise, Phoenix. I hope this isn't too overwhelming of a commitment for you, making you dive headfirst into literature when you're not accustomed to it. Oh, come on. Like he deserves any slack. Sayori told me you didn't even want to join any clubs this year. And last year, too. I don't know if you plan to just come here and hang out or what. But if you don't take us seriously, then you won't see the end of it. Natsuki, you certainly have a big mouth for someone who keeps her manga collection in the club room. Natsuki finds herself stuck between saying Monica and manga. Manga is literature. Swiftly defeated, Natsuki plops back into her seat. Don't worry, guys. Phoenix always gives it his best as long as he's having fun. Speaking of manga as literature, by the way, I decided to do a thing and I got myself the first 3 mangas for Demon Slayer. I've watched the anime and I'm currently waiting for the next season to come out. But I decided might as well try and start getting into some of the manga. I've had so many people say there's some stuff that happens in mangas that doesn't end up getting onto the anime, especially in series like Bleach and some of the other series. There's just a few things they do a little bit differently or whatever, but I figure why not. Maybe I'll get a little more background into what's all going on. So he helped me with busy work without even asking, like cooking, cleaning my room. How dependable. Sayori, that's because your room is so messy, it's distracting. And you almost set your house on fire once. Is that so? You two are really good friends, aren't you? I might be a little jealous. How come? You and Phineas can become good friends too. Sayori? Hmm? Okay. As usual, Sayori seems oblivious to the weird situation she put me into. The joy of Sayori. The oblivious, basically blonde person that isn't blonde, that essentially is putting me in that spot of like, yeah, I don't think I want to be here, but you've already said it, so I'll just be quiet and hope it kind of passes. Yeah. Yuri even brought you something today, you know? Wait, Sayori. Me? Not really. Don't be shy. It's really nothing. What is it? Never mind. Sayori made it sound like a big deal when it's really not. Uh, what do I do? I'm sorry, Yuri. I wasn't thinking. I guess that means it's up to me to rescue the situation. Again. Hey, don't worry about it. First of all, I wasn't expecting anything in the first place. So, any nice gesture from you is a pleasant surprise. It'll make me happy no matter what. The joys of games made like this. Is that so? Yeah. I won't make I won't make it a big deal if you don't want it to be. Alright. Well, here. Yuri reaches into her bag and pulls out a book. I didn't want you to feel left out, so I picked out a book that I thought you might enjoy. It's a short read, so it should keep your attention, even if you don't usually read. And we could, you know, discuss it if you wanted. This is. How is this girl accidentally being so cute? She even picked out a book she thinks I'll like, despite me not reading much. Yuri, thank you. I'll definitely read this. I enthusiastically take the book. Phew. Well, you can read it at your own pace. I look forward to hearing what you think. Now that everyone's settled in, I expected Monica to kick off some scheduled activities for the club. But that doesn't seem to be the case. Sayori and Monica are having a cheery conversation in the corner. Ooh. I wonder what the conversation is. Yuri's face is already buried in a book. I can't help but notice her intense expression, like she was waiting for this chance. Meanwhile, Natsuki is rummaging around in the closet. Ugh. I hear Natsuki utter an exasperated sigh from within the closet. She seems to be annoyed by something. Alrighty, it looks like we have someone that has joined the Phoenix Nation. A homeless gnome that farted. Very unique name. Thanks for joining the nation, my friend. Hope you do enjoy it here. Hopefully it's not too hot for you. If it is, well, I mean, you're dealing with the Phoenix here. So, I mean, it's something. Anyways, do hope you enjoyed here. Any feedback you got, feel free to chime in, have some fun. That is actually a very unique and very awesome name. Not gonna lie. As Captain Philly says, it is probably the greatest name I've heard as well. Very unique. Love it. And And to continue, I get up and approach her in case she needs a hand. You looking for something in there? Freaking Monica! She never puts my stuff back in the right spot. What's the point in keeping a collection organized if someone else is just gonna mess it up? Natsuki slides a bunch of stacked books and boxes across the shelf. Manga. You read manga, right? Sometimes. Manga is one of those things where you can't admit you're really into it until you figure out where the other person stands. How did you know, anyway? I heard you bring it up at some point. Besides, it's kind of written on your face. What's that supposed to mean? I see. There's a lone volume of manga amidst a stack of various books on the side of one of the shelves. Curious, I pull it out of the stack. There it is! Natsuki snatches it out of my hand. Well, thanks. She then turns to a box of manga and slips the volume right into the middle of the rest. Ah, much better. Seeing a box set with one book missing is probably the most irritating sight in the world. I know that feel. I get a closer look at the box set she's admiring. Parfait Girls? It's a series I've never heard of in my life. That probably means it's either way out of my demographic, or it's simply terrible. If you're gonna judge, you can go do it through the glass on that door. She points to the classroom door. Hey, I wasn't judging anything. I didn't even say anything. It was the tone of your voice. But I'll tell you one thing, Phoenix. Consider this a lesson straight from the literature club. Don't judge a book by its cover. In fact, Natsuki pulls out the first volume of Parfait Girls from the box. I'm gonna show you exactly why. She shoves the book right into my hands. Ah, I stare at the cover. It features 4 girls in colorful attire, striking animated feminine poses. It's exceedingly mo. Don't just stand there. What? Natsuki grabs my arm and pulls me out of the closet. She then takes a seat against the wall beneath the windowsills. She pats on the ground next to her, signaling me to sit there. Wouldn't chairs be more comfortable? I take my seat. Chairs wouldn't work. We can't read at the same time like that. Why is that? I guess it's easier to be close together like this. Don't just say that. You'll make me feel weird about it. Natsuki crosses her arms and scooches an inch away from me. Sorry. I didn't exactly expect to be sitting this close to her either. Not that I can say it's particularly a bad thing. I open the book. It's only a few seconds before Natsuki once again inches closer, reclaiming the additional space while she hopes I wouldn't notice. I can feel her peering over my shoulder, much more eager to begin reading than I am. Wow, how long has it been since I read the beginning? Hmm? You don't go back and flip through the older volumes every now and then? Not really. Maybe sometimes after I've already finished the series. Hey, are you paying attention? Uh, I am, but nothing's really happening yet, so I can talk at the same time. It looks like it's about a bunch of friends in high school. Typical slice the slice of life affair. I kind of grew out of these since it's rare for the writing to be entertaining enough to make up for the lack of plot. So, what should I expect from this? Is there going to be a plot? Well, obviously. You think I would enjoy something that didn't have a plot? I mean, well, I guess I know what you're saying. A lot of the beginning is about simple things. Like, there's a really funny chapter where they're obsessed with a guy at the ice cream shop. But that just helps you get to know the characters. And besides, it's still entertaining. But later on, there's all kinds of drama. Like when they get into all their backstories and when some of the romance starts to happen. That's really what makes it so good. There are so many touching parts. Ah, is that so? It sounds like you really know what you're talking about. Maybe I underestimated you. Hehehe. Hey, wait. What's that supposed to mean? Uh. Natsuki gives me a little shove. I just meant that I haven't seen you at your full power. Good save. Ah, this chapter seems like it's about baking. This is just a guess, but is there a lot of baking in this manga? Well. Natsuki pauses for a moment as if she doesn't want to admit something. Yeah. Why does that matter? It doesn't. I was just curious. Since you enjoy baking too, right? That's just a coincidence. I just happened to get into baking around the same time I got this manga. Like I would ever get into anything because it's in manga. I feel bad for anyone that impressionable. Definitely not a coincidence. I guess that explains Natsuki's interest in baking. Still, of all the hobbies to pick up from a manga, that's definitely one of the better ones. Not to mention she's really good at it, so who am I to judge? And dot dot dot. We read on for a few more minutes. I've finished a couple chapters at this point. Are you sure this isn't boring for you? It's not. Even though you're just watching me read? Well, I'm fine with that. If you say so. I guess it's fun sharing something you like with someone else. I always get excited when I convince any of my friends to pick up a series I enjoy. You know what I mean? Huh? Hmm? You don't? Um, that's not. Well, I wouldn't really know. What do you mean? You don't share your manga with your friends? Could you not rub it in? Jeez. Uh, sorry. Hmm. Like I could ever get my friends to read this. They just think manga is for kids. I can't even bring it up without them being all like, you still haven't grown out of that yet? Makes me want to punch them in the face. Uh, I know those kinds of people. Honestly, it takes a lot of effort to find friends who don't judge, much less French. My words do not like me today. Much less friends who are also into it. I'm already kind of a loser, so I guess I gravitated towards the other losers over time. Mind you, Captain Philly, I actually do have manga now. I don't know if it may have had a uh, ad running at the time, but I've got the first three books of Demon Slayer. So, I've got some manga now. Only three books, which probably won't take me long to read, but yeah. But it's probably harder for someone like you. Hmm? Yeah, that's pretty accurate. Wait, which part? I mean, I feel like I can't even keep it in my own room. I don't even know what my dad would do if he found this. At least it's safe here in the club room. Except Monica was kind of a jerk about it. Uh, I just can't win, can I? Well, it paid off in the end, didn't it? I mean, here I am, reading it. Well, it's not like that solves any of my problems. Maybe. But at least you're enjoying yourself, right? Uh. So. Uh, Jeez, that's enough. Are you gonna keep reading or what? Yeah. I flipped the page. Suddenly, Natsuki starts laughing. I totally forgot that happens. Natsuki puts her finger on one of the panels. Minori is my favorite character. You always feel a little bad for her since she's so unlucky. But it gets especially bad when, uh, I shouldn't be talking about that yet. Just finish this chapter. Natsuki's voice sparkles with excitement. It's a stark contrast to her usual bossy tone. But if she's not used to sharing her favorite manga with her friends, I can understand why. It's hard to express in words the feeling you get when connecting with someone like that. And being able to provide that to Natsuki, for whom it's a rare experience, the thought makes me smile a little to myself. Okay, everyone. Huh? Are you all ready with today's poems? Um. Oh, come on. Could your timing be any worse? Sorry. I just need to make sure we have enough time. Though you do look pretty cozy over there. uh. Uh. Natsuki suddenly notices how close she's gotten to me. She hastily slides herself a good 12 inches away. Alright. Guess I'll stop here for now. I close the book and hand it towards Natsuki. You're just giving it back? Don't you want to know what happens? Yeah. But Monica just said, don't be dumb. Just take it home with you. Uh? Is that really alright? I say that mostly because I really didn't plan on using my spare time to read this. Well, of course. It would take forever to finish if you didn't take it home. Just finish that one before tomorrow so we can start the next one. And if it gets bent, I'll kill you. By tomorrow? I only got partway through the volume so far. I might fall behind on some shows if I try to get through this. But I suppose that's a necessary sacrifice in exchange for seeing Natsuki's enthusiastic face. Or am I more scared of what will happen if I don't finish it? Alright then. I stand up. I return to wherever I put my stuff and carefully slip the book into my bag. By the way, did you remember to write a poem last night? Yeah. My relaxation ends. I can't believe I agreed to do something so embarrassing. I couldn't really find much inspiration since I've never really done this before. Well, now that everyone's ready, why don't you find someone to share with? I can't wait! Sayori and Monica enthusiastically pull out their poems. Sayori's is on a wrinkled sheet of loose leaf torn from a spiral notebook. On the other hand, Monica wrote hers in a composition notebook. I can already see Monica's pristine handwriting from where I sit. Natsuki and Yuri reluctantly comply as well, reaching into their bags. I do the same myself. Who should I show my poem to first? Let's go with Monica first. I should start with Monica. Yesterday she seemed eager to read my poem, and I want her to know I'm putting in effort. Hi, Phoenix. Having a good time so far? Yeah. Good. Glad to hear it. By the way, since you're new and everything, if you ever have any suggestions for the club, like new activities or things we can do better, I'm always listening. Don't be afraid to bring things up, okay? Alright, I'll keep that in mind. Of course, I'll be afraid to bring things up. I'm much better off just going with the flow until I'm more settled in. Anyways, want to share your poem with me? It's kind of embarrassing, but guess I have to. Don't worry, Phoenix. We're all a little embarrassed today, you know? But it's that sort of barrier that we'll all learn to get past soon. Yeah, that's true. I hand Monica my poem. Mm-hmm. I like it, Phoenix. Really? It's a lot cuter than I expected. Mm-hmm. Oh, jeez. No, no. It kind of makes me think of something Natsuki would write. And she's a good writer, too. So take that as a compliment. Uh, if you say so. Yep. There are lots of poems or stories out there that are no more than a few simple words. They can be funny, endearing, or even sad. And sometimes they're only a few lines long. They might even feel like they're written for kids. But if you think about them, they can express views of the world that would apply to anybody. I see. So you're saying that Natsuki is kind of like that? Sort of. Maybe she's not an expert, but you probably wouldn't find much filler in her poems. They might be easy to write, but they're super challenging to get the meaning through. So I can see why it would be your kind of poem to explore. I'm sure I'll end up trying different things a lot. It could take a while before I feel comfortable doing this. That's okay. I'd love to see you try new things. That's the best way to find the kind of style that suits you. Everyone else might be a little biased towards their own kinds of styles, but I'll always help you find what suits you the most. So don't force yourself to write the way everyone else wants you to write. It's not like you have to worry about impressing them or anything. Yeah, sure. Anyway, do you want to read my poem now? Don't worry, I'm not very good. You sound pretty confident for someone who claims to not be very good. Well, that's because I have to sound confident. That doesn't mean I always feel that way, you know. I see. Well, let's read it then. Hole in the wall. It couldn't have been me. See the direction the sparkle protrudes, a noisy neighbor, angry boyfriend, I'll never know. I wasn't home. I peer inside for a clue. No, I can't see. I reel, blind, like a film left out in the sun. But it's too late. My retinas, already scorched with a permanent copy of the meaningless image. Just a little hole. It wasn't too bright. It was too deep, stretching forever into everything. A hole of infinite choices. I realized now that I wasn't looking in, I was looking out, and he, on the other side, was looking in. So, what you think? Hmm, it's very freeform, if that's what you call it. I'm sorry, I'm not really the right person to ask for feedback. It's okay. Yeah, that kind of style has gotten pretty popular nowadays. That is, a lot of poems have been putting emphasis on the timing between words and lines. When performed out loud, it can be really powerful. What was the inspiration behind this one? Uh, very many different ways to take it. It all depends. Well, I'm not sure if I know how to put it. I guess you could say that I had some kind of epiphany recently. It's been influencing my poems a bit. An epiphany? Yeah, something like that. I'm kind of nervous to talk about deep stuff like that because it's kind of coming on strongly. Maybe after everyone is better friends with each other. Anyway, here's Monica's writing tip of the day. Sometimes when you're writing a poem or a story, your brain gets too fixated on a specific point. If you try so hard to make it perfect, then you'll never make any progress. Just force yourself to get something down on the paper and tidy it up later. Another way to think about it is this. If you keep your pen in the same spot for too long, you'll just get a big dark puddle of ink. So just move your hand and go with the flow. That's my advice for today. Thanks for listening. Next, let's go with Yuri. Yuri stares at the poem. A minute passes, more than enough time for her to finish reading. Oh, sorry. I forgot to start speaking. It's fine. Don't force yourself. For the most part, it is. There's a lot of people that can get what they call writer's block, where you just have no idea what to even write about. And sometimes best advice for them is, even if it's nothing about the story you're already writing about, just start writing. Write something down. Get those essentially mental juices flowing, and who knows, maybe you'll end up coming up with something that actually goes with the storyline, or you may come out with a small story that'll work on the side. Who knows? I'm not. I just need to put my thoughts into words. Hold on. Okay. This is your first time writing a poem, right? Yeah. Why do you ask? I'm just making sure. I guess that it might be after reading through it. So it's that bad. No! Did I just raise my voice? I'm so sorry. Yuri buries her face in her hands. I couldn't help but notice that it's been several minutes and we haven't really gotten anywhere. It might take Yuri a while to get used to new people. It's fine. I really didn't notice. What were you saying? Right. It's just that there are specific writing habits that are usually typical of new writers. And having been through that myself, I kind of learned to pick up on them. I think the most noticeable thing I recognize in new writers is that they try to make their style very deliberate. In other words, they tend to pick a writing style separate from the topic matter, and they form fit the two together. The end result is that both the style and the expressiveness are weakened. Once Yuri finds her train of thought, It's as if her demeanor totally changes. Her stammering is completely gone, and she sounds like an expert. Of course, that's not something you can be blamed for. There are so many different skills and techniques that go into writing even a simple poem. Not just finding them and building them, but getting them to work together is probably the most challenging part. It might take you some time, but it all comes with practice and learning by example and trying new things. I also hope that everyone else in the club gives you valuable feedback. Natsuki can be a little biased, though. Biased? How? Um, well, never mind. I shouldn't be talking about people like that. Sorry. It's fine. I'm not sure if Yuri is apologizing to herself, to me, or to Natsuki. Do you mind if I read your poem now? Please do. I'd love to share my thought process behind it. Yuri smiles dreamily as if that's a rare opportunity for her, which itself is kind of funny. After all, isn't this supposed to be a literature club? Ghost Under the Light. Now let's see if I can actually read this cursive. It's been a while. The tendrils of my hair illuminate beneath the amber glow. Bathing. It must be this one. The last remaining streetlight to have withstood the test of time. The last yet to be replaced by the sickening blue-green hue of the future. I bathe, calm, breathing air of the present but living in the past. The light flickers. I flicker back. I'm sorry I have such terrible handwriting. What? I wasn't thinking that at all. But it took you a long time to read. Ah, well, I just don't read script very often. I actually think your handwriting is pretty. What's that for, Philly? Huh? That's a relief. Also, I liked the poem. Even though it's short, it was really descriptive. I somewhat followed. If I had to take a guess and everything on that one, I'd probably say it was about the old light posts because it did that blue green hue of the copper oxidizing. So I almost want to say it was about street lights or even like the really old ones that still had probably the oil lamps inside of it or something, and the whole flickering back and forth was the fire inside of it lighting, or that's probably the best thing I could think of. If that's actually what it is, I don't know, but that's kind of where my mind went. It wasn't too short. Kind of as it said on here, it was short, but it kind of packed that punch. Left you thinking a little bit, and once you kind of made that connection, it just kind of kept spiraling from there, and you making more and more and more connections. Sadly enough, I actually did not watch a lot of Robot Chicken, but the little bit I did, a lot of it was essentially just making fun of everything. Didn't matter what it was just making fun of it. But to continue on for a little bit here, I might try and get through all these poems and then probably end up calling it for the stream today. I usually write longer poems. Not at all. I'm really glad you like it. I'll be honest. Since it's our first time sharing, I wanted to write something a little more mild. Something easy to digest, I suppose. Are you into ghost Yuri? Uh huh. Actually, the story isn't about a ghost at all, Phoenix. Really? I must have totally missed the point. Well, Well, I suppose you did only glance over it after all. But remember that poets often express their own thoughts, feelings, and experiences in their work. They usually do more than tell a simple story or paint a picture. In this case, perhaps the subject of the poem is only being symbolically compared to a ghost. Lingering in her last remaining place of comfort, unable to let go of the past, and soon to be left with nothing. That's a lot more solemn, putting it that way. I hadn't even thought of that. That's impressive. It's nothing really. Well, it makes me happy that you think that. Just remember that it won't be long before you pick up on these things too. Yeah, maybe you're right. I guess I'll have to keep trying. I'm counting on you. Next, we'll go Sayori. Alright, Sayori, what do you got for me? This is a good poem, Phoenix. Are you sure it's your first time? Of course. It's not that good. Am I the kind of guy who would be writing poems in his spare time? I guess you're right. But that's why it impressed me. Well, to be honest, I was afraid that you wouldn't do it seriously, or that you wouldn't write one at all. I'm really happy just that you wrote one. It just reminds me of how much you're really part of the club now. Not to mention the fact that I'm standing in front of you in the club room. Well, of course. I'm not really into it yet, but that doesn't mean I'll break my promise. See? It's like I said before, Phoenix. Deep down, you're not selfish at all, you know? Try new things like this for other people. That's something that only really good people do. Thanks, Sayori. I'm not sure if Sayori sees the full picture of my motive here. Then again, I can't deny that she's part of the reason I joined. Knowing how much this means to her and all. Yeah. And I'm gonna make sure you have lots of fun here, okay? That will be my way of thanking you. Alright, I'm gonna hold you to that then. Yay! Now you'll read my poem too, right? Don't worry, I'm really bad at this. We'll see about that. Dear Sunshine, the way you glow through my blinds in the morning, it makes me feel like you missed me, kissing my forehead to help me out of bed, making me rub the sleepy from my eyes. Are you asking me to come out and play? Are you trusting me to wish away the rainy day? I look above, the sky is blue. It's a secret, but I trust you too. If it wasn't for you, I could sleep forever. But I'm not mad. I want breakfast. Sayori. This is just a guess, but did you wait until this morning to write this? No. Just a little bit. You can't answer just a little bit to a yes or no question. I forgot to do it last night. Well, at least that makes me feel a little better about myself. Don't be mean. I still tried my best. That last stanza was awesome. Yeah. I didn't mean to say that it was a bad poem. It came out nice, or how should I put it? It sounds just like you. That was like the most randomest thing that she put in there, to be honest. Everything was about the sunshine, sunrise, and then I want breakfast. Where did that come from? Really? Yeah. Especially the last line. I made eggs and toast. Even though you were late to school. It's bad to skip breakfast. I get all cranky. Well, I guess there's no point in arguing. Anyway, thanks for showing me. This was so much fun. Monica's the best. Yeah. But next time, I won't forget. And I'm going to write the best poem ever. Well, I guess I look forward to it. Who should I show my poem to next? Last but not least, Natsuki. And let's see what you say. Okay, well, let's start with the things I don't like. First of all, well, Natsuki rereads my poem. Never mind. I don't feel like giving you my opinion. Then what's the point of sharing in the first place? I wrote this when I could have been doing other things. In fact, remember how I said I wanted to read your poems? That's what I had in mind when writing this. I want to help you feel comfortable enough to share yours. Like Monica said. Well, I would be more comfortable sharing my poems if yours was really bad. You were supposed to show me some dumb poem and make me go, ha! Well, it's not that great, but let me show you what a real literature looks like. And you went and ruined it. I hope you're happy. What did I do wrong? So, in other words, you're saying you liked it. Natsuki's retort gets caught in her throat. You're so. You just. You don't understand anything, do you? I already told you that. You don't have to go announcing it to the world like you're all self important. Pretty sure you never actually said that. I say that mostly to myself. Natsuki must really hate me or something. I can't figure out if it's a win or a loss that she liked my poem. In any case, you still need to show me yours, right? Fine, I guess. Only because Monica will make me if I don't. So simple. Eagles can fly. Monkeys can climb. Crickets can leap. Horses can race. Owls can seek. Cheetahs can run. Eagles can fly. People can try. But that's about it. So simple. Yeah. I told you that you weren't gonna like it. I like it. What? Just be honest. I am. Why are you so convinced that I wouldn't like it? Well, because everyone in high school thinks that writing has to be all sophisticated and stuff. So people don't even take my writing seriously. But isn't the point of poems for people to express themselves? Your writing style wouldn't make your message any less valid. Yes, exactly. I like it when it's easy to read, but it hits you hard. Like in this poem. Seeing everyone around you do great things can be really disheartening. So I decided to write about it. Yeah, I understand. But the other nice thing about simple writing is that it puts more weight on the wordplay. Like I set up for a rhyme at the end, but it made it fall flat on purpose. It helps bring out the feeling in the last line. So you did. I guess more went into it than I realized. That's what it means to be a pro. I'm glad you learned something. Didn't expect that from the youngest one here, did you? Yeah, I guess not. I decided to humor her with the last comment. I don't really care how old everyone is, but if Natsuki is feeling proud, then I won't take that away from her. Phew. I guess that's everyone. I glanced around the room. That was a little more stressful than I anticipated. It's as if everyone is judging me for my mediocre writing abilities. Even if they're just being nice, there's no way my poems can stand up to theirs. This is a literature club after all. I sigh. I guess that's what I ended up getting myself into. Across the room, Sayori and Monica are happily chatting. Once again, my eyes land on Yuri and Natsuki. They gingerly exchange sheets of paper, sharing their respective poems. As they read in tandem, I watch each of their expressions change. Natsuki's eyebrows furrow in frustration, meanwhile, Yuri smiles sadly. What's with this language? Uh-huh. Did you say something? Oh, it's nothing. Natsuki dismissively returns the poem to the desk with one hand. I guess you could say it's fancy. Thanks. Yours is cute. Cute? Did you completely miss the symbolism or something? It's clearly about the feelings of giving up. How can that be cute? I know that. I just meant the language, I guess. I was trying to say something nice. Uh, you mean you have to try that hard to come up with something nice to say? Thanks, but it really didn't come out nice at all. Um, well, I do have a couple suggestions. If I was looking for suggestions, I would have asked someone who actually liked it. Which people did, by the way. Sayori liked it, and Phoenix did too. So based on that, I'll gladly give you some suggestions of my own. First of all, excuse me. I appreciate the offer, but I've spent a long time establishing my writing style. I don't expect it to change anytime soon, unless, of course, I come across something particularly inspiring. I think that was probably all of high school, to be honest. Then again, excuse my language, but most high schoolers, most, depending on the situation, most of them are just pompous assholes. Let's be honest. But besides that, yes, teenage drama years. Unfortunately, some of it never ends. Just like the song, High School Never Ends. And Phoenix liked my poem too, you know. He even told me he was impressed by it. Natsuki suddenly stands up. Oh? I didn't realize you were so invested in trying to impress our new member, Yuri. Uh, that's not what uh, you're just... Yuri stands up as well. Maybe you're just jealous that Phoenix appreciates my advice more than he appreciated yours. Huh? And how do you know he didn't appreciate my advice more? Are you that full of yourself? No. If I was full of myself, I would deliberately go out of my way to make everything I do overly cutesy. I feel that. Yours might be the knees, mine is the wrist. And my neck. It sucks. Uh, is everyone okay? Well, you know what? I wasn't the one whose boobs magically grew a size bigger as soon as Phoenix started showing up. Natsuki! Um, Natsuki, that's a little. Both at the same time? This doesn't involve you. I don't like fighting, guys. Suddenly, both girls turned towards me as if they just noticed I was standing there, even though I've been there this whole time. Again, what have I gotten myself into? Phoenix, she, she's just trying to make me look bad. That's not true. She started it. If she could get over herself and learn to appreciate that simple writing is more effective, then this wouldn't have happened in the first place. What's the point in making your poems all convoluted for no reason? The meaning should jump out at the reader, not force them to have to figure it out. Help me explain that to her, Phoenix. Wait, there's a reason you have so many deep and expressive words in our language. It's the only way to convey complex feelings and meaning the most effectively. Avoiding them is not only unnecessarily limiting yourself, it's also a waste. You understand that, right, Phoenix? Well, how did I get dragged into this in the first place? It's not like I know anything about writing. But whomever I agree with, they'll probably think more highly of me. So, of course, that's going to be. Since this time I'm going for Natsuki. I'm sorry, Yuri, but I'm siding with her. Yuri, you're really talented. Well, but Natsuki has a point. I think that I racked my brain in an attempt to back myself up. I think that conveying feelings with few words can be just as impressive as well. It lets the reader's imagination take over. And Natsuki's poem did a really good job at that. Yeah, it did, didn't it? Nah, ha ha. Shows how much you know. That's not Natsuki. I think that's enough. Alrighty, man. I'm probably gonna end it here shortly, anyways. But do appreciate you stopping out, my friend. And I will check you next time. Hope you have a good night's sleep. Huh? Me? But she was so mean to me. Natsuki's voice whines. Look, what we talked about yesterday was right. Writing is a really personal thing, and sharing it can definitely be hard. It looks like we learned that today. Even small criticism can lead to something pretty heated. I glance over my shoulder. Sayori is nodding vigorously. Yeah, so. You don't need to feel threatened. You're a great writer, Natsuki. Ah. Natsuki's voice gets caught in surprise. Thanks for noticing. She finally mutters that barely audible. Yuri. Hmm? Yuri looks at me dejectedly. With a face like that, I can't help but feel bad for her as well. I'm sure that Natsuki didn't mean everything she said. So you don't need to feel threatened either. Well, if you say so. Hey, it's not like you need to apologize for me, Phoenix. Sheesh. Natsuki takes a breath. The thing about, uh, Natsuki glances around the room. Would everyone stop staring at me? Unsurprisingly, Natsuki has a harder time with it than she boasted. Sayori and Monica look away. Anyway, the thing about your boobs, I didn't mean it, okay? That's all. Natsuki looks away, avoiding eye contact with anyone. Yeah, you're naturally beautiful, Yuri. Sayori, I'll go make some tea. Huh? I was just trying to help. I'm sure she appreciated it, Sayori. I pat Sayori on the shoulder. Well, now that we're past that, everyone's read each other's poems, right? I hope that it was worthwhile for everyone, especially you, Phoenix. And to be honest, it's a nice change of pace from the lazing around we got a little too used to. Ah, so my joining the club was responsible for ruining the atmosphere. No, not at all, not at all. There's still time before we go home, so we'll all relax for a bit. Of course, besides chatting, we do literature related things in the club room. So maybe you can take the chance to pick up a book or do some writing. After all, that's what the club is for. I disagree, Monica. What about? That's not the most important thing about the literature club. The most important thing is having fun. Aha, of course. Well, I guess that's why you're the vice president, Sayori. Hee. In the end, though, Monica's right. Being in the literature club probably means I can't spend all my time doing nothing. But in the end, I guess it's been worth it so far. Okay, everyone. It's just about time for us to leave. How did you all feel about sharing poems? It was a lot of fun. Well, I'd say it was worth it. It was alright. Well, mostly. Phoenix, how about you? Yeah, I'd say the same. It was a neat thing to talk about with everyone. Awesome! In that case, we'll do the same thing tomorrow. And maybe you learn something from your friends too. So your poems will turn out even better. I think to myself, I did learn a little more about the kinds of poems everyone likes. With any luck, that means I can at least do a better job impressing those I want to impress. I nod to myself with newfound determination. Phoenix! Ready to walk home? Sure, let's go. Yee. Sayori beams at me. It truly has been a while since Sayori and I have spent this much time together. I can't really say I'm not enjoying it either. Sayori, how about what happened earlier? What do you mean? You know, between Yuri and Natsuki. Does that kind of thing happen often? No, no, no. It's really the first time I've seen them fighting like that. I promise they're both wonderful people. You don't hate them, do you? No, I don't hate them. I just wanted your opinion, that's all. I can see why they'd make good friends with you. Phew. You know, Phoenix, it's nice that I get to spend time with you in the club. But I think seeing you get along with everyone is what makes me the happiest. And I think everyone really likes you too. That's. Yee. Every day is going to be so much fun. It looks like Sayori still hasn't caught in onto the kind of situation I'm in. Sure, being friends with everyone is nice, but does it really need to stop there? We'll just have to see what the future holds, Sayori. I pat Sayori on the shoulder. I said that more to myself than to her, but it's easy to use Sayori as an internal monologue sometimes. Okay. Yeah, let's do this. Alrighty. So, I am going to save. Alright, guys. Those of you that have stopped in, whether you may just be tuning in to the last part of this little bit, sorry if you're just tuning in. Those of you that have been here for a while, I do greatly appreciate you guys stopping in, lurking, chatting in the chat, giving the support, the love, just being here. Love it. I hope you guys can tune in for the next one. And stay fiery hot, guys. I'll see you all next time.